What is your name, please?
My name is Joe Abenda, and I am the current Miss World.
My name is Joe Abenda, and I'm the current Mr. America.
My name is Joe Abenda, and the current Miss Universe.
Only one of these people is the real Joe Abenda. The other two are imposters and will try to fool this panel. Tom Poston, Peggy Cass, Merv Griffin, and Phyllis Newman. On to Tell the Truth with your host, Bud Collyer.
Thank you very much, and welcome once again to Tell the Truth. Brought to you this week by Salem Cigarettes. Merv Griffin, nice to have you back with us.
Bud Collyer, good to be back.
Ay, golly.
Nice
How's
to
the
see
rest
you.
of you? Everybody fine tonight?
Fine, thank you.
Good enough. Okay, will you please open up your envelopes, take out that first affidavit card, and follow along as I read from my copy.
Fine, Bud, just fine.
All right, Tom. I, Joe Abenda, am a college student. For years, I have been working toward a single goal. My preparation consisted of hard work, special exercises, nutrition, and plenty of rest. After days of checking measurements, testing, and being stared at by the judges, they finally gave me their approval and awarded me my present title. Signed, Joe Abenda. All right. Now, panel, here is your first problem for April Fool's Day. Now, remember, Joe Abenda, number 1, claims to be Miss World. Joe Abenda, number 2, claims to be Mr. America. And Joe Abenda, number 3, claims to be Miss Universe. Now, only one of these three has any title at all. The other two are complete imposters. Your job is to find out which one actually holds a title, the title he or she claims. So let's start with Peggy Cass. Peggy?
Thank you. Miss Abenda, number 3. Who's Marlene Schmidt?
The Miss Universe in 1961.
Thank you. And number 3, could you tell me how many countries compete in the Miss Universe?
Countries, 50.
Thank you. Mr. Abenda, number 2, since there's only one Mr. Abenda. How many days do they spend checking your measurements? It says days checking your measurements.
Well, 2 days the contest was.
I see, like your biceps, your wrists, your neck.
All right, stop there.
Okay. and Mr.
Merv.
Abenda, number...
Yes?
Question.
Miss Abenda, number 1, what college did you attend?
Texas Christian University,
Where was the Miss World contest held?
London, England.
Mm-hmm. Who came in second?
Came in second?
Who
Miss
came in-
Holland.
Miss Holland. What was her name?
Her name was... I've almost forgotten.
Mr. Abenda, number 2, what college did you attend?
Hofstra College,
Where's your home?
New York City.
Where was your contest held?
Detroit, Michigan.
Who came in number 2?
Harold Poole.
Harold what?
Poole.
Phyllis.
Thank you, Bud. Number 2, where are your pectoral muscles?
Where they've always been.
Outside.
What?
Where they've always been, the chest.
Oh, the chest. I just thought I'd ask.
You
that's all. Number 3, where are you from? What country?
Argentina.
From where?
Argentina.
Oh, from Argentina. What's the capital of Argentina?
Buenos Aires.
And where was your contest held?
Well, first in Buenos Aires, second in Miami Beach.
I see. Number 2, could you tell me some of the exercises you do to build up that magnificent body?
Oh, presses and curls and squats.
I see.
Tom Poston, please.
Fantastic. I don't know. I don't know how. No, number 3, was your contest for men and women?
No, for... What do you mean? I don't understand very well.
I don't know. What's that brave bull doing in there, number 2? Why is he in there? Number 2, was your contest for men and women?
No.
What are you doing in there with those girls?
Mr. America.
Oh, I see.
He's Miss America.
Number
Everything
3,
all
what
right?
does Abenda mean?
Abenda means a name. It means nothing.
And that's all the time we have. I'm sorry to say it is time for you now to vote. With all of the information you managed to glean from that good questioning period, mark your ballots for the one you think is the real one. Selecting as you go without consultation, number 1, number 2, or number 3. Team of challengers will, of course, receive the usual $250 for every incorrect vote.
Oh.
All ballots marked?
Oh, it's impossible.
Okay. Tom, for whom did you vote?
I voted for number 3. I don't know.
Peggy, your vote.
Well,
Anything.
I voted for number 3, too, because I think she's just perfectly beautiful, and I would have voted for her for Miss Universe.
Uh-huh. Merv.
I voted for number 3.
No kidding.
Yeah. I think the other two hesitated too long about their runners-up. I think when you're in a contest like that, you know who's either in front of you or right behind you. That doesn't.
You
mean-
remember when you were Mr. America?
Yes, thank you,
You
Bob.
remember? Would you put your vote card up front there so we can
Thank
see
you.
it? And Phyllis.
This is ridiculous. I voted for number 3 also. Number 2 looks like a perfect Mr. America, and number 1 a perfect Miss World, but I just went with number 3. I don't know why.
All right, there we have it now. And always when there's unanimity of opinion, it can be dangerous or it can be very happy. Let's see which it is this time as we learn the truth of the matter and find out which of these persons actually is the one involved, the real title holder, in other words. So will the real Joe Abenda please stand up? Oh, boy. You can sit down, Joe. Incidentally, Joe Abenda not only holds the title of Mr. America, but this last year in London, he was crowned Mr. Universe. So he really knows the whole bit here. Oh, good job of acting, all of you. Number 1, what is your real name and what do you really do?
My name is Nancy Lynn, and I draw technical charts at Norton Air Force Base, California.
Number 3, you got all the votes. What is your real name and what do you do?
Thank you. My real name is Azucena Diaz, and I'm a flight hostess with Panagra Airlines.
Well, what do I have to say to you? Nothing that won't make you all very happy. You did a beautiful job of fooling the panel, and that means, of course, all incorrect votes total $1,000 from Salem Cigarettes, as well as a carton of Salem's on your way out. Thank you so much for having our fun with us. Good night, and God bless you. Huh. Where are your pectoral muscles indeed? Right about here, you are scheduled for a refreshing journey into springtime. Meet our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Alexis Lechine.
My name is Alexis Lechine.
My name is Alexis Lechine.
Will you follow along with your copies of this next affidavit, please, panel? I, Alexis Lechine, am a wine grower, a wine merchant, and one of the largest exporters of fine French wines. I operate my own vineyards in Bordeaux and Burgundy, and also act as advisor and selector to leading importers, hotels, restaurants, dealers, and steamship lines on both sides of the Atlantic. My book, Wines of France, is in its 4th edition and is considered the most comprehensive book on the subject in existence. My major literary effort, however, is my forthcoming Wines of the World, an encyclopedia of 1,500 pages, which took 8 years to complete. Signed, Alexis Lechine. Very well, panel. These 3 gentlemen all claim to be Alexis Lechine, wine experts. And let's start this cross-examination with our little old winemaker, Phyllis Newman.
Thank you. Number 2, the house of Rothschild makes 2 kinds of wine. Could you tell me what they are?
Lafite Rothschild and Mouton Rothschild.
Thank you very much. Number 3, could you tell me whether Montrachet is a red or a white wine?
It's a white wine.
Thank you. Number 1, do you agree with that?
Entirely.
And 2?
Yes.
Thank you. Number 1, what color is Puy Fuissé?
Puy Fuissé is a white wine.
Thank you. Do you agree with that, number 3?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Number 2, do you know where the town of Honfleur is or what big resort it's near in France?
It's near Deauville on the Channel coast.
Thank you. Number 1, what publisher publishes your books of wines here in America?
Alfred Knapp.
Alfred Crown. Number 3, could you tell me some of the hotels or restaurants that you've been associated with?
I have supplied wines for the Waldorf Astoria, the Americana, many hotels all throughout the country.
Thank you.
Oh, I hate to leave you. You are so française, aren't
Yes,
you?
but they're so français, too.
Tom.
Number 3, do you know who owns the Haut-Brion Chateau?
The Dillon family.
Thank you. Number 2, do you know what Saumur is?
It's a town where the French Cavalry School is located, and a nice, modest local wine is made.
What color is it, number 2?
White.
Number 1, do you know Taittinger?
Pardon?
Taittinger.
Yes.
How do you pronounce it correctly?
T-A-T-I-N-G-A-R.
Number 3, how do you pronounce that correctly?
Tétinger.
What is it? A French wine, right?
Yes.
Why is it so Germanic in its spelling?
Because there have been many German families that settled in the Champagne district.
Peggy.
Number 1, what color is the wine Quincy?
Cassis?
Quincy. Q-U-I-N-C-Y.
Cassine, red.
Number 2?
More purplish than red.
Number 3?
White.
Thank you. Please, number 3, what is the name of the sommelier at Chauveron?
I don't know.
Number 1, who runs Maxine's
Oh, goodness.
in Paris?
There, I'm afraid you've got me.
Thank you. Number 2, where is the Hospice du Beaune and what do they do there?
It's a hospital in Beaune,
Yes, and what do they
run
do
by
there?
nuns.
Yes. Number 3, what do they do with their wine there?
They sell it at auction.
Thank you.
Murph.
Boy, what a classy group.
Yeah.
Number 3, what kind of a year was 1959?
It was a very good one.
Do you agree, number 1?
Excellent.
Do you agree, number 2?
The best.
I didn't mean for wine. I just meant, what kind of a year was it? Oh, who did you deal with, number 3, at the Waldorf Astoria?
Claude Philippe.
Is he still there?
I don't believe so.
Where's Claude Philippe now, number 1?
I think he's at the Americana.
Mm-hmm. Do you agree, number 2?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What other hotels, number 2, have you advised in New York?
In New York?
Yes.
The Plaza.
Mm-hmm. Who do you
St.
deal with?
Regis.
Who do you deal with at the Plaza?
Pierre Boulting.
That's all the time we have. So, have a drink of wine and mark your ballots, if you will, please. Mark them at once without change and, of course, no consultation. As you vote now for number 1, number 2, or number 3. Okay, all ballots marked? Mark them up.
Could we see their feet?
No, you could not. With or without shoes. Tom, for whom did you vote this time?
Well, without benefit of seeing their feet. That was funny.
Thank you, Tom.
I voted for number 3. I must say that it didn't seem terribly likely to me, except that I liked the way he answered the questions. Saumur, the local wine, is kind of pink. In fact, it is a rosé, a naturally carbonated one. But go on, I don't know.
Peggy.
Well, I voted for number 3 because Quincy is a very dry white wine, not red. So, he knew it.
Murph.
I voted for number 1, because he has redder lips than the other 2. Well, there are a lot of rosés,
Phyllis, what is your vote?
I'm very upset. I know it's number 3, but I couldn't help voting for number 2 because he knew where Honfleur was and all those wonderful places.
Okay, there we have it. All votes in and counted, and this time no unanimity. It scared them off in that first round, I guess. But in any event, let's zero in on truth right now and find out who's right and who's wrong as we learn which one of these gentlemen actually is the wine expert and merchant. So will the real Alexis Lichine please stand up? Thank you, sir, very much. You may be seated. Number 1, what is your real name and what do you really do?
My name is Peter de Marel, and I am the director of the Belgian Tourist Bureau here in the United States.
And number 2, what is your real name, sir? What do you really do?
My name is Andre Emmerich, and I have my own art gallery here in New York of avant-garde contemporary paintings and pre-Columbian art.
Well, it was a great pleasure. You did very well, and you split them up right down the line, which means there were only 2 correct and 2 incorrect. The 2 incorrect, I think, are the most, have the greatest interest for you, because at $250 each, that's $500. That's not a bad take for an evening. If you also had the fun that you brought us, that makes it worth even more. That, of course, comes your way from Salem Cigarettes, as does a carton of Salem's on your way out. And we thank you, gentlemen, sincerely and deeply. Goodbye, and God bless you. Now it's time for you to take a refresher course in springtime freshness. It only takes a minute. Panel, may I present our next and third team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Jan Dietrich. My name is Jan Dietrich. My name is Jan Dietrich.
Very well, panel. Will you follow along with your copies of this affidavit? I, Jan Dietrich, am a professional flyer. I learned to fly an airplane when I was 16 years old. I am now a corporation pilot. In 1960, in an effort to measure the capabilities of women for space flight, a group of women flyers were invited to take the same 110 preliminary tests that were given to our 7 Mercury astronauts. I was one of the 12 women to pass all the tests successfully. Signed, Jan Dietrich. Ladies this time, panel, all claiming to be Jan Dietrich, pilot. We'll start with Merv Griffin. Merv?
Thank you, Bud. Number 1, name 2 of the preliminary tests you took.
Well, one of the tests was swallowing 3 feet of a rubber tubing. Another was the bicycle ergometer test. It was very strenuous.
Number 3, would you name 2 other preliminary tests you took out of the 10?
One was reaction time test, and another tested the recovery from dizziness after ice water had been shot against the eardrum.
Number 2, would you name 2 others that have not been mentioned?
One was when I was put into a dark room, and there was a light that was turned on, and I had to catch a ball when the light went on, and that was to find out how quick my reaction was.
Number 1, would you tell... Oh.
Phyllis.
Thank you, Bud. Number 1, what is a Cessna?
It's an airplane.
Thank you. Number 3, what kind of aircraft does Beechcraft make? Number 3.
Number 3?
Yeah.
Quite a number, single and 2-motor, 2-engine.
Thank you. Number 2, how many hours flying time do you need to get a flyer's license?
What type of flyer's license?
Well, the first license that you can get is a flyer.
Well, 20 hours is for solo. If you were going to get a private license, you need at least 20 hours.
Number 3, thank you. Number 3, do you agree with that?
Yes, 20 hours solo for the first license.
I see.
35 total.
Number 1, do you know Mr. Grissom's first name?
Yes, it's Tom Poston.
No,
Tom.
it's not.
Merv Grissom. Thank you. Thank you. I want to ask, number 3, how many hours did it take you to solo in a plane?
Around 8 hours.
How about you, number 2? Could I just ask you?
9 hours. 9 hours.
Number 1, how long did it take you to solo?
I don't remember exactly. It was somewhere between 8 to 12 hours.
Thank you. Number 3, where are the brakes in the little light plane? Where do they keep those things? Is it a hand brake, or where are they? The brakes?
It varies according to the light plane. Sometimes it's...
Peggy.
Thank you. Number 1, during the Second World War, there was a ferrying service that girls were with. Could you please tell me the head of that ferrying service, plane ferrying service?
Yes, that was Jacqueline Cochran.
Thank you. Number 3, this might seem like a strange question, but what was the name of Amelia Earhart's navigator?
Fred Noonan.
Thank you. Number 2, did they lock you in one of those space suits when you took these tests, some of them?
Well, I was in some sort of a capsule.
Thank you. Number 1, how did they feed you when you were in that place, that suit?
In the suit?
Yes. Oh, didn't you wear one of those suits?
No, I did not.
Oh, in 110.
That's all the time we have for right now. All you have to do now is mark your ballots. But instead of that, ladies, I want to thank you very much for being with us. Good night. Thank you.
What do you mean? We haven't found out who it is yet.
I'm just going to vote.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's going on?
She's going up and swallow.
This is the rest of our little April Fool's joke on you.
No.
Now, what I forgot to tell you was that Jan Dietrich has a twin sister named Marion, who incidentally is also a pilot and who also has passed those astronaut tests. Now I'd like you to meet Jan and her sister, Marion.
We haven't voted. Oh.
I'm sorry, panel, that's something else I forgot to tell you. You'll have to forgive me. Each of the other young ladies you questioned has a twin sister also. Ladies, would you please come downstairs?
Which other lady? I'll take one of one and one of three.
Okay, all together now, Doug.
I'm afraid I also forgot to tell you that when we brought them down this time, we changed them around so that the same ones are not necessarily sitting in the seat. She may be standing behind. We mixed them up, in other words. So, panel, your problem is to decide which one of these 6 persons actually is the real Jan Dietrich. Now,
You know, this show's getting a little too tight.
it's time to vote. On your ballots, please vote for numbers 1, 2, or 3 up, meaning the ones that are standing behind, or 1, 2, or 3 down, meaning the ones that are seated in the foreground. Okay?
I hope we have an hour.
Mark your ballots right now. No consultation. All ballots marked? Mark it with 1, 2, or 3 up, or 1, 2, or 3 down. Everybody done?
Yes.
Okay. Tom, for whom did you vote?
Well, I wanted to vote for number 3. Oh, this should be down.
Up or down? Down?
Sitting.
Number
1 sitting.
Number 1 sitting.
forgot to
Number
put
1
that.
down.
But I don't know of any place that those brakes have ever been in any plane except one place. I don't know why she said that, so I didn't vote for her. I voted for number 1, but I think it's the down one because I think she was sitting down before. No?
They look alike.
I know.
This
Peggy,
sounds
your
like
vote.
it sounds like a card game, but I'll go for 3 up.
3 All right, would you hold up a marker there so we know? There, number 3 up has 1 vote. Merv.
You want to play cards? I'll go for 3 down.
All right, number 3 down. And Phyllis.
I vote for 7 up. No. No, I vote for 3 up also. I like 1 down, 2 up, and 3 down. 2, but 2 up, 3 down, and 4 out, and I take 3 up there.
Okay, you better 3 up you voted for, so would you turn your card over so you have 2 votes? There we are. Okay, there's the way it sets right now. So without any further ado and no more secrets from you, will the real Jan Dietrich please raise your hand? Now, just to set the record straight, Jan Dietrich flies for Volk McLean Communities Incorporated, home builders and developers, and Jan is one of the dozen or so women in the world to hold an airline transport pilot's license, which, of course, as I guess you know, Tom, is the highest attainable by man or woman. Marion, for whom do you fly?
I'm a pilot for Harris Club in Nevada, and I'm also a magazine writer.
Thank you very much. Now, beg pardon?
Which one was out here first that we questioned?
The real one. The one who held her hand up.
Oh.
She's the one.
Oh, she's the one who...
She was
is
sitting
the real
down
one.
before. That's right. Now, numbers 1. Which one of you was out here before?
I was.
You were. And what is your name and what do you do?
My name is Dusty Scott. And my name is Rusty Scott, and we're both singers and songwriters.
And now we come to numbers 2. Which one of you was here with us before?
I was.
And your name?
My name is Patricia Gullison Scott.
And I'm Leisha Gullison Hamer, and we're both fashion models and wives.
Incidentally, we'd like to especially thank Patricia and Leisha for stepping in at the last moment and doing a wonderful job. We're very grateful to you. Checking the score, we find, let's see, that there were 2 incorrect votes at $250 each. That's a total of $500 from Salem Cigarettes, as well as a carton of Salem's for each of you. Thank you so much for helping us play our little mixed-up game. Good night, and God bless you. Have time for tonight, so good night, you crazy mixed-up panel.
April Fool.
And thank you for being such fun. And don't forget, join us again, all of you, tomorrow, next week at the same time, of course, and tomorrow afternoon on the daytime show. And until then, this is Bud Collier saying good night for Salem Cigarettes and reminding you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. To Tell the Truth has been brought to you tonight by Salem, the cigarette that refreshes your taste. Johnny Olson speaking for To Tell the Truth.